My beloved child, there is a reason your attention arrived here at this exact moment, because not every sound reaches the heart when the heart is distracted, and not every message waits patiently for the one it is meant for. I have been watching the pace of your days, the silent weight you carry, the questions you do not always speak aloud, and even the moments when you smile in front of others while your thoughts remain somewhere else entirely. Before you move away, don't skip, because something huge is waiting for you, and what you hear now may stay with you longer than you expect. A quiet moment is opening right now, and inside this moment there is something I need you to notice. You have asked for signs in ordinary hours. You have looked at certain days and wondered why nothing changed when you hoped so deeply that something finally would. Yet even in the stillness, even in delays that seemed empty, something unseen has been moving in ways you could not measure. Stay till the end, because what appears delayed has not been forgotten, and what felt silent has not been abandoned. There were nights when your mind replayed old conversations, old losses, old disappointments, and you wondered whether your efforts had disappeared into nothing. But I tell you now, no sincere tear, no hidden prayer, no quiet endurance has been wasted. Every moment you thought nobody noticed was recorded in a place where nothing valuable disappears. Even when you stood alone in your thoughts, even when you doubted your own strength, I remained near enough to hear what you never said aloud. Listen carefully, because this is where many people look away too early. Some doors did not open because they were too small for what is coming next. Some answers did not arrive because you would have stopped searching before you became ready to receive something greater. What looked like interruption was often protection. What felt like waiting was often preparation. Don't skip, because the next part of your path carries meaning that you could not have understood earlier. There is a change that begins quietly before it becomes visible. First it touches your thoughts, then your courage, then your ability to see clearly what no longer belongs in your life. You may have already felt this beginning without naming it. A certain restlessness. A certain inner push. A feeling that something cannot remain the same much longer. That feeling is not random. It is often the first whisper before a larger turning point. Stay till the end, because many leave before hearing what they most needed to hear. Someone has been wondering how you continue to carry yourself after everything that has tested you. Someone has noticed your patience even when you believed your effort was invisible. And beyond what people see, there is also an unseen shift being arranged in timing you cannot fully predict yet. Not everything important arrives loudly. Sometimes the strongest answers approach with quiet steps. There are moments from your past that still try to define how you expect tomorrow to feel. But tomorrow is not required to repeat what yesterday taught you to fear. This is why I ask you to listen carefully now. The chapter ahead does not need the same ending as the chapter behind you. A closed season is not proof that every season closes the same way. Something huge is waiting for you, but it does not begin with noise. It begins with clarity. It begins when you stop measuring your future only by what failed before. It begins when you notice that your strength survived days you once thought would break you. It begins when you understand that surviving quietly was already a kind of victory. There were times you almost gave up speaking hope over your own life because you became tired of expecting too much. Yet even in that tiredness, something inside you continued to look forward, even if only a little. That small remaining hope matters more than you realize. It is enough for new light to enter. Do not hurry past this moment. Don't skip, because this message is reaching you for a reason. There is something in your life that has been held back until the right understanding forms inside you. When your heart becomes steady, what belongs to you becomes easier to recognize. What once confused you will begin to separate clearly: what is temporary, what is lasting, what should be released, what should be welcomed. You may soon notice a conversation, an opportunity, or a realization that feels small at first but carries unusual weight afterward. Pay attention to what brings peace rather than pressure. Pay attention to what strengthens rather than drains. Not every important answer arrives dramatically. Sometimes it arrives as a sentence you almost ignored. Stay till the end, because one of the greatest mistakes is leaving before the heart becomes ready to receive what follows. What is ahead for you is not built only from what others decide. It is also shaped by the courage you are developing right now, quietly, even while you think little is happening. And this is why I am still waiting, not because you are forgotten, but because some truths must be heard when the heart is calm enough to keep them. You are not standing at an empty place. You are standing in a moment that is slowly preparing to reveal why certain things had to unfold differently than you expected. Hold this thought carefully: what felt delayed may soon make sense in a way that changes how you look at everything behind you. Something huge is waiting for you, and this beginning is only the first whisper of it. And now, before your thoughts move elsewhere, hear this with full attention, because some moments arrive quietly and still carry enough meaning to change how you see everything around you. What you almost ignored recently, what you thought was ordinary, what seemed like another passing day, may actually be connected to something much deeper unfolding around you. Don't skip, because sometimes the smallest moment becomes the doorway to the answer you have waited for longer than you realize. There are people who think nothing important is happening because they only trust what they can immediately see, but many important changes begin before visible proof appears. In your life, certain pieces have been moving into place without announcing themselves. A delay here, a silence there, an unexpected pause, an unusual feeling in your heart, these are not always empty moments. Sometimes they are signs that a larger pattern is quietly forming. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and the next understanding may explain why certain emotions have felt stronger lately. You may have noticed that your heart reacts differently now than it did before. Things that once distracted you no longer satisfy you in the same way. Conversations that once seemed enough now leave you searching for something deeper. That shift matters. It means your spirit is becoming more alert to what truly belongs in your path. There were times when you wondered if your waiting had any purpose at all. You looked at how long certain hopes remained unanswered and quietly asked whether your patience was being overlooked. But listen carefully: patience is often building something inside you while you think nothing outside is changing. The strength you now carry did not appear suddenly. It formed during moments when nobody saw your struggle. Don't skip, because there is another truth many people discover too late. What did not happen when you expected it may have protected you from receiving something before you were fully prepared to hold it. There are answers that only become blessings when they arrive at the right time. Before that moment, they can become burdens you were never meant to carry early. A surprising thing is happening even now. While you are thinking about what was lost, something ahead is already moving toward you with timing you cannot fully predict yet. A conversation may soon feel different. A message may reach you unexpectedly. A new sense of clarity may enter your mind at an ordinary hour and suddenly make past confusion feel lighter than before. Stay till the end, because this next thought matters deeply. Some of what tired your heart came from trying to understand everything too early. You searched for meaning in unfinished moments. You tried to solve chapters before they were complete. But unfinished chapters often look confusing until the final lines begin to appear. Something huge is waiting for you, but first your attention must become stronger than your fear of disappointment. There is a difference between guarding your heart and closing it completely. You are being led toward wisdom, not toward distance from hope. What belongs to you will not require you to become cold in order to receive it. You may soon recognize that one sentence, one unexpected reminder, or one peaceful realization carries unusual weight in your day. Do not dismiss that feeling. Important things often enter quietly before they become unforgettable. What seems small at first may become the exact turning point you later remember clearly. Don't skip, because many stop listening right before the part that reaches them most deeply. What you called an ordinary day may soon reveal hidden meaning. A door that looked closed may only have been waiting for the right moment to open through another path entirely. The answer may not arrive exactly how you imagined, but that does not make it smaller. Sometimes the answer becomes greater because it arrives differently. There are thoughts you have kept private, even from those closest to you. Questions about whether you are moving correctly, whether your future will feel lighter, whether your efforts matter as much as you hoped. Hear this carefully. What is sincere inside you has not disappeared unnoticed. Quiet effort still carries value even when applause never comes. Stay till the end, because what comes next in your story may begin in a way so gentle that only careful hearts recognize it early. The strongest beginnings are not always loud. Sometimes they begin with peace where there used to be confusion. Sometimes they begin when you suddenly realize your heart is no longer attached to what once held you back. And if this message reaches you at the exact moment you needed reassurance, remember this carefully: what feels uncertain now does not define what is approaching. Something huge is waiting for you, and the reason you are hearing this now is because your next season may require more courage than fear, more trust than hesitation, and more attention than distraction. So remain attentive, because not every message asks for urgency, some messages ask for stillness. And in stillness, the clearest answers often arrive. At this moment, while everything around you may look ordinary, there is still something extraordinary hidden beneath what you call normal, and many people miss it because they only trust loud signs and immediate proof. But some of the most important changes begin when the day looks completely unchanged. Don't skip, because what seems simple right now may carry a meaning that becomes clear only after this moment passes. There are seasons when the heart becomes tired not because it lacks strength, but because it has carried questions for too long without clear answers. You may have smiled while still wondering privately why certain things stayed unfinished, why some hopes slowed down, why certain efforts seemed to disappear into silence. Yet silence does not always mean absence. Sometimes silence means something is being arranged beyond what you can currently measure. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and this next thought may remain in your mind long after today ends. There are moments when what feels delayed is actually being protected from arriving too early. What reaches you before the right time can confuse you. What reaches you at the right time can strengthen you. A surprising truth is this: some things you wished had happened sooner would not have carried the same meaning then as they will now. Your understanding has changed. Your patience has deepened. Even your ability to recognize what truly matters has grown quietly through experiences you once wished had never happened. Don't skip, because this is where many hearts begin to understand their own journey differently. You were not only moving through events, you were also becoming someone stronger inside those events. Even when nothing around you looked impressive, something inside you was learning endurance, clarity, and deeper awareness. There may soon come a moment when an ordinary conversation suddenly feels important, when a simple thought enters your mind and stays there longer than expected, when something small carries unusual peace. Pay attention to those moments. Important direction often enters gently before it becomes obvious. Stay till the end, because the heart often recognizes meaning before the mind fully explains it. That quiet feeling that tells you something is shifting is not always imagination. Sometimes it is the beginning of understanding arriving before evidence catches up. Something huge is waiting for you, but it may first appear in a form you almost overlook. A calm answer instead of dramatic change. A clear feeling instead of loud confirmation. A sense of peace where confusion once lived. These beginnings are often stronger than sudden noise because they last longer. There were times you thought you needed immediate proof to keep believing something good could still unfold, yet you continued moving even when proof did not appear. That quiet continuation matters more than you realize. Many stop just before clarity arrives, but you kept going through days that asked much more from your heart than others ever noticed. Don't skip, because another truth is waiting here. Not every closed path was a loss. Some closed paths prevented you from building your future around something that could never remain. What felt disappointing then may later look like wisdom protecting your steps. You may soon notice that certain thoughts no longer hold the same power over you. What once disturbed your peace may begin losing its weight. What once kept your attention trapped may slowly release its grip. This is often how deeper change begins. Not with sudden noise, but with quiet freedom entering places that used to feel heavy. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and this part matters deeply. There is a difference between waiting with fear and waiting with awareness. Fear watches the clock and assumes nothing is happening. Awareness understands that unseen movement can still be real. Even now, while you listen, there may be pieces of your life aligning beyond your current sight. A future meeting, a needed answer, a new understanding, a restored confidence. Some things begin before they are announced. Don't skip, because the next chapter of your life may begin with something so subtle that only your full attention will notice its value. The strongest moments are not always the loudest ones. Sometimes the strongest moment is when you suddenly realize that your heart is no longer standing where it once stood. And when that realization comes, you may understand why this message reached you now, because some words arrive not to create fear, but to awaken expectation in a heart that almost forgot how powerful quiet hope can be. So remain attentive, because what is coming may first arrive softly, but its meaning may stay with you far longer than you expect. Before this message closes, hold your attention here a little longer, because some truths are only understood by those who remain until the final moment. Many people hear the beginning of a message, but only a few stay long enough to receive the part that settles deeply inside the heart. Don't skip, because what comes now may explain why certain feelings have followed you recently without clear reason. There are times when life becomes quiet not because nothing is happening, but because something important is gathering strength beneath the surface. You may have looked around and wondered why ordinary days feel unusually heavy, or why your thoughts keep returning to questions you believed were already behind you. Sometimes that happens because your heart senses a shift before your eyes can confirm it. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and the final part often carries the clearest light. What you thought was an ordinary pause may actually be the space where understanding is slowly forming. The answer you wanted may not have arrived in the shape you imagined, yet that does not mean it failed to come closer. A surprising thing about many important moments is that they do not announce themselves loudly at first. They begin quietly, with a change in perspective, a new calm, a thought that returns with unusual clarity. Suddenly what once confused you no longer holds the same power. Suddenly what felt impossible begins to look possible again. Don't skip, because there is a reason your heart has continued searching even after disappointment. Deep inside, something in you still believed that unfinished chapters were not the end. That quiet belief has carried you farther than you realize. Even when your words sounded uncertain, something within you kept expecting meaning to return. There may soon be a moment when you notice peace arriving where tension once stayed. A conversation may sound different. A decision may become easier. A thought you struggled with for a long time may suddenly feel lighter. Pay attention to that moment, because small shifts often introduce larger changes. Stay till the end, because this next truth matters deeply. Not everything important enters through dramatic events. Some of the strongest turning points begin with one quiet realization, that you are no longer who you were when the struggle first began. You have learned more than you noticed. You have endured more than you admitted. You have grown in places nobody else could fully see. Something huge is waiting for you, but part of receiving it is recognizing how far you have already come. Many people only notice what has not happened yet and forget to see how much strength was built along the way. Yet the strength inside you now is not small. It was shaped by days that asked patience from you again and again. Don't skip, because one final understanding belongs here. What seemed delayed may one day become the very reason you feel grateful things did not happen differently. Timing often protects meaning. What arrives later sometimes arrives stronger, clearer, and more lasting. There is also this: what you once called silence may later reveal itself as preparation. What looked empty may have been space being made for something more fitting than what you first expected. A closed door was not always rejection. Sometimes it was direction changing quietly before you recognized it. Stay till the end, because hearts that remain attentive often hear what others miss. If this message found you during a thoughtful hour, during a quiet pause, during a moment when your heart needed reassurance, then remember this carefully: your story has not lost direction. A chapter may feel slow, but slow chapters still move forward. Something huge is waiting for you, and perhaps the first sign is already here: the fact that you are listening with more attention than before, feeling more deeply than before, noticing more than before. Awareness itself is often the beginning of change. And as this part closes, carry this thought gently: not every answer arrives immediately, but every sincere step forward matters. What belongs in your future does not disappear because today feels ordinary. Some of the most meaningful moments begin in ordinary hours and later become unforgettable.